you love entertainment, current events, and Hollywood, don't miss Creator to Creators, hosted by the filmmaker Meosha, known for the Shudder hit documentary Horror Noir and the acclaimed film Anatomy of an Anti-Hero, Redemption. This show features interviews with filmmakers and creatives from around the globe. Join the fun with guest celebrities and gain valuable insights. Subscribe now and follow Creator to Creator. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today we have a special guest.
Hi, I'm Pran from Bangkok, but I'm currently in the UK right now, and I'm an artist, and it's the same name. My name is Pran, and my artist name is Pran as well.
Love it, love it. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you on. I'm excited to talk to you about, the music journey. I love going back to the beginning. I always say, the beginning charts our trajectory in life, our little habits, we pick up along the way, follow us into our adulthood. Tell me a little bit about your childhood. What was that like, and how did you find your way into music?
Um, so this is before I'm even conscious. I was 2 years old at the time, but my mom used to tell me a story that I would correct her pitch when she sings. So I guess it's kind of been a part of me since I was like very, very young. And then growing up, I guess when she sees that, she take me to like piano lessons, even though I don't, I didn't concentrate in my lessons, like I'm just playing around. And then, yeah, music has always been a part of my life. She took me to piano lessons, singing lessons, and it kind of been there in my mind, but I don't really act on it or anything until I was around my teen years, where out of, randomly, I just decided I found this song on the internet. I don't remember what it was, but I played it on the piano, and then my mom saw it and she introduced me to GarageBand. So
Right.
yeah, I fell in love with it, and I just keep on practicing it on my iPad, and then eventually it evolved until here. Yeah.
I love that. I remember GarageBand. I think that's like the quintessential, tool as far as like audio and, and
Yeah, yeah,
music
definitely.
and
It's free as well, so very
yeah.
accessible. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that. Um so you when like I'm curious, what age were you when you were like, all right, I think I got something and I want to take music seriously? Because I think a lot of people can create things and it's like a hobby, but when were you like, yeah, I want to like really take this seriously, like career?
It's 2 years ago, and it's it's like a process. It's not like one day I decided to take it seriously, because I have to like tell a story. Like a while back, my house, I live with my grandparents as well, and one of them wanted to singing, to try to learn singing. So she wanted to hire a singing teacher, and there's this recording studio next door, which she thought was a music school. So she phoned him, and then there's there's this singing teacher that also a producer that who works there, kind of at the time.
Nice.
So he went by to our house and taught her singing, and then when I walked past, she said, "Why don't you come join singing?" And then I just keep on doing the singing thing. And then one day, eventually, I showed my one of my beats to the producer, who was also the singing teacher, and she said, like, "Oh, you got something? Want to try make music together?" And I guess that's the point where it started getting more serious. And this happened like 2 years ago or three, so it's quite recent.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, it was very quick development, but
Yeah,
I just had so much fun, and things goes very smoothly. So yeah.
I love that. I love that it's that you're like, I mean, the fact that it's just so recent, it's your sound is so, it's so good.
Thank
Um
you.
yeah, I was like, whoa. um so your project till the end,
To
for
the end for
you,
you. Yeah.
yeah, centers on fighting for love. What personal experiences shape that message?
Um, this is like a continuation from my old song, like a song that I released before this is called All I Need Is Love, which is a story about like basically me or this character, but I make it more over the top with the song. But basically it's a story of my first heartbreak and how I found self-love at the end. And then continuing
Mm,
from that, I feel like that character or me have reached a point where he found a successful kind of love, but that successful kind of love, it requires more. You have to fight for it every day. It requires you to make effort, basically. So that's kind of like the message from the song. And I like to make things, continue as a story as well. So I think it fit perfectly with the kind of the whole narrative that I'm building with the song.
I love that. And I love that, you're talking about love and heartbreak and finding self-love and how important that is because I think a lot of times, and what a healthy relationship looks like, because I think a lot of times we live in a society now where there's a lot of unhealthy behavior and traits, and people are
Yeah,
not,
definitely.
loving themselves. So this is so good to hear, like something positive and in music, and it sounds great.
Thank you.
Absolutely. When I listened to it, I was thinking like R&B and EDM. So how did blending pop, R&B, and EDM help you tell the story sonically? Because it's really, really cool sounds as well that you use.
In, because of like, I used GarageBand before, right? And I've I've tried to use like, I've always listened to EDM, a little bit of hip hop here and there, and some K-pop here and there as well. And in GarageBand, there's not really so much instrument going around for you to pick from, like as a beginner. So when, I use Logic now, but still on the iPad, but I use Logic now to make those sounds. So I kind of have to pick the sound from the source itself because I don't really know how to get the outside sound at the time. So I guess it kind of developed from the sound inside the app. And
Nice.
yeah, I guess the influence probably from when I first make the song, the All I Need Is Love, the one I released. Before this, it sounded kind of like The Weeknd. So instead of like, oh,
Ah,
I want to make something original, and I think like, why not? It already sounded like him, so make it sound like him more, but in my own way. So, so going off of that, I just created something similar because I feel I really like the style that I made on that first song. So I just kind of wanted to continue that as well.
I love that. Yeah, and what a great person to study because, or just, he's super successful in his own right. I mean, tons of songs and the sound is so like different and I really like how you made this. Tell me about the process when you're making music and like when you're like what does that look like for you? You're wearing many hats, or do you kind of talk to someone else that helps you with the sound, or you're doing everything down to vocals, down to producing?
Anything that I can do, I try to do on my own because I enjoy it a lot. But anywhere that got stuck, I have like, the singing teacher, he became my manager to help out as well. So he kind of helped in areas where, I'm stuck or having trouble, but he never like intrude or anything, just kind of help. In this song, actually, he helped out as well. Because I don't know like the concept I want to go with the song. So he kind of sent me like this pop song. I don't really remember what it was. It's Justin Bieber and some other random song. And he was like, "Can you make something similar to this? I think it might go well with the album." And I was like, "Okay." So yeah, and I does most of the producing myself, and then I
Nice.
created and then for the recording we kind of help each other out. It's like because I also like to hear my own vocal. We went to the studio together, the one next to my house as well. So
Nice.
um, my producer, no, not my producer, sorry, my singing teacher kind of helped me listen to, like, we recorded multiple takes and he listened which one he think is the best, which one I think is the best, and we try to pick out the best for the vocal.
Nice.
And then for the mixing, we sent the tracks to a sound engineer in the US, and we pretty like the sound of it. And he helped out as well, creating the sound to make it next level and sounds very good. So yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of people helping as well. But the producing, I do it almost,
That,
almost if not all
that's
myself. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap. So good. It's like it's so like I was playing it and I was just vibing out. Like I'm like, wow. And it I do I'm not a person about because I've had heartbreak as I think I'm sure a lot of people have. But it's one of those things like I love what you said about self-love and how important that is because and I think a lot of women talk about it, but not many men. Do you feel like it's challenging to or do you don't mind going to those places of being vulnerable like the lyrics feel very affirming and um trusting. Was vulnerability easy or challenging for you to make when you were making the song?
For the previous song about self-love, it's it goes with the song. I want to make the lyrics goes well with the song because the beat sound kind of sad. So
Yeah.
and then the word "all I need is love" came up, and I just put the yeah. And then this whole story of how I find self-love came up because like you can twist the word into like two parts, right? One part
Yeah.
is like, oh, all I need is love. Why don't you give it to me? And the all I need is love, but I have love now. So that's kind of like the first for the first song. That's kind of like the thinking behind it. And for this song, it depends on the music as well. So the word "till the end" for you, the main chorus or the hook came up first. So I sang it out, and it sounds really good. So
I
kind of
love that.
developed from there. And I guess I have no problem about being vulnerable if it fits the music. I think of the music as like the first priority. Then the vulnerability came back in. Yeah.
Yeah, because I always think that it would be I mean, I have a like I'm not gonna say I have a problem being vulnerable, but well, yes, I do in like my real life, but like when creatively, I can definitely do it that way, because I feel like it's easier. I feel safer by opening up
Like therapy in a
versus
way as well, right?
yes, exactly like therapy. So yeah, I just think it's so refreshing to hear, a man talking about and singing about love. I mean, now music is just so, I don't know, it's not the same anymore to me. It feels like the creativity is kind of out of it. I think a lot of times people are just making music to just put it out, um, or trending kind of songs.
Yeah.
For you as an artist and a producer and a creative, is that a challenge when, as far as like mm, continuing to grow in this industry and seeing your trajectory, do you want to just continue to stay on the path of what feels good for you and not kind of follow the masses that's already been doing music? You know what I mean?
Good question. I think I try to keep a balance between both
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, I want to make this my career, and to make it my career, then I have to like follow the trend a little bit as well. But I also need it to be happy. It's kind of like work-life balance when it comes to music. I guess that's how I look at it. Anyways, yeah.
I love that. That's great. So I have a fun question, and I like to ask this question every interview, and there is no wrong answer, I promise. The three levels of influence: money, power, or respect. If you could choose only one of those things, which one would you choose and why?
I guess power, because then you can make money with the power and gain respect with the power. So I can get all three. Yeah, that's my answer.
I love it. That's a great answer. Most people say respect. It's so funny. And I always wonder, like, really, if you could get choose any of those? um, as an artist from Thailand, um, how does your background influence your sound or storytelling?
In Thailand, the main religion is Buddhism, right? So some of the ideas might reflect that a little bit, because like with the Buddhism, and I do self-reflecting a lot, to find like it's kind of like an identity of like the religion itself. I don't want to get too deep into that because I don't think I don't want to go into religion, but I
Yeah,
guess the religion definitely influence and the people taste in music definitely
yeah,
also influence because I hear a lot of Thai songs and I also hear a lot of like people who listen to like Western music as well, so I can differentiate between the two, and I guess that kind of make my my style kind of more. I don't. Sorry, I'm thinking of the word here, but it make my style more clearer, if that makes
Yeah,
any sense. And
for
yeah, I can like make the music, and I can be assured that like this is more Western than Thai music. So like, that kind of gave me perspective. And right now I'm in England as well, so I kind of hear music from different countries and I can compare them, well, like this country like this type of sound, this country
hmm
like this type of sound. I think that's very useful, when making music, like who is it appealing to and all that, and help with
Yes,
the promoting as well. So that's a good
absolutely.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. Like knowing like what works. So like, and then, especially being in the UK, I mean, I'm sure there's a big music scene out there. I'm not really sure, but I heard like there's a lot of music that, artists that are in there. So
Yeah,
that's
I've heard a lot
awesome.
of sound that I could never hear if I'm in Thailand or in the US. So it's very good experience traveling between countries and listening to the songs of every single one of them. Yeah.
That's awesome. You said when you have love, have to fight for it. What does fighting for love look like in real life?
I think effort definitely count, and making effort, but even for yourself, love is like, not just for other person, not just in relationship, maybe yourself as well, and in other situation as well, making effort, showing up for yourself, showing up for your partner, or and any way that shows that you care, and just, I guess, by living, it's like a celebration of love in a way as well. You want to go deep with it. So that's kind of how you keep fighting for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your loved one. I think that's the way I'm thinking about it.
That's cool. Was there like any surprises? Like, what surprised you most during the production process?
I guess it's how smooth it all is, because it all just come to me and like a sound in my head, and I just put it out, and oh, it worked, and I don't really have to like experiment with it a lot, because some song I do need to like revise it over and over, but this one just sounds good from the beginning, and I was kind of shocked, to be honest. Yeah.
You were like, wow, I'm good. I love that. I love that. If you could perform with any artist, living or dead, who would it be and why?
I don't know actually, because I didn't really think of this before, so um I guess anybody. I guess I just like performing with other people in general, because I want to like see how they think. I like to see people in their creative process. So anybody would do, well known or not, and I just like it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do, since you've been in the music world now, and I'm sure you've seen some things and how everything works. Always tell people like it's a really good industry being a creative, but there's also the business side to it that I think a lot of people don't really think about when they first get in it, because there's just so much you have to do to keep the machine going. Um, do you feel like music is changing in favor of the artist? Um, as far as like indie as well, getting their music out there, because I mean, there's new music every day being released, so it's super saturated. But do you feel like the industry is allowing artists to have that freedom to like go against those big artists out there who's been doing it for many years?
I think there's a trend of giving indie artists more space to do that. So I think that's a good thing. But, at the same time, there's also a trend where things have become more business for music, with like AI as well. I think like with AI being able to make music now, I think like people with the business mind have an easier time to make music. While the indie artists, they're I feel like that kind of make them struggling a little bit, because like people put less value on it. Because like when there's a lot of things in the market, like the value kind of goes down in that sense. So I think it's definitely like multiple trend there, and I'm in my, personally, I hope like indie artists can grow more easily in this
Yeah.
industry. Yeah.
How do you feel about AI, being able, I mean, a lot of people are against it, and then there's some people that are for it. What are your thoughts with AI and pertaining to, I guess, musically?
I feel like I want to look at it as like the program, like GarageBand or Logic Pro or like Pro Tool or something like that. If they have like in the future, they have like an option to edit it, it can make like certain
Oh,
process easier. So I'm waiting for that. I guess I didn't like do any so much research. There might be that already, that it might exist already. But yeah, I'm kind of waiting for that. Think of it as a tool, which is, it's like people used to have computer and then phone and then all that, which make things easier. It just, up the playing field. But if you have more skills anyway, so nothing to be worried about, I guess.
I love that. Yeah, I feel you. I feel like, you know, as far as like the AI goes, I feel like it's a great thing for people that are indie, that are doing it themselves, entrepreneurs, because it's like you don't have 20 people crew. You essentially are doing a lot of the promotion by yourself, and it's out of pocket, or you know what I mean. So it can be expensive, but I think AI has made it a little better to seem like you have a bigger team than
Yeah.
from the outside looking in, I guess.
If you don't have like creative, thinking in the first place, I don't think it would just be business. But creatively, it can be developed in like a new way. But I'm still waiting for that. I feel like it hasn't reached that point yet for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, you know, I'm curious as far as like what does the like or how do you balance your commercial pop appeal with your personal authenticity? So a little bit of you, but also, you know, where it's, you know, for mainstream as well.
I guess it's my mindset is like try to be as authentic as I can, and then chip away from it a little bit to make it more professional sounding. So I guess that I did that with like everything from the music video, and from everything. I tried to put as much of myself in, and then afterwards, see what can be done to make it more commercial. But you have to make
Yeah,
sure it's not too much as well. So that's kind of the idea in terms of like the execution. It's all kind of done by other people because I do work with like a lot of people.
nice.
Not in terms of like making the music itself, but like a lot of people outside of it, like the filming crew for the music video, and that kind of like make the music itself more mainstream anyway. So yeah,
Nice. How was that process? Did you enjoy it? Were you like directing, or you just had somebody else direct it and you just
I love
showed up?
seeing people being creative. That's kind of like my joy. So when I talk to like the director or anyone I'm working with, I wanted them to give their own idea, and if it sounds very good, then yeah, just keep it. And I have some idea in mind for a certain music video as well, or some other creative process. I just share my idea, they just share their ideas, and because I hired them, so it's their job to work. So if I'm controlling everything that they do, it's not it's kind of like a waste of money in my opinion. So
Right, exactly. You're like, oh, thank God. Oh
yeah.
my gosh. That's a whole nother topic, but I've had some bad set days. I come from the background of cinematography, so
Um,
I would shoot a lot of on set, and then yeah, but that's great. I'm glad it went great, and visually and everything was, I think everything you did was awesome, because even your look is it's an awesome look. I want and you know I love that you said it's a balance, and you put a little bit of you there, but also for commercial value to appeal to the masses. Do you feel like, as an artist, do you feel like you ever are selling out, or nah, you don't feel like that way?
Sometimes, but a lot of the time it's just all in my head. It's like sometimes it's actually selling out, but sometimes it's all in my head because as well. But I try to think of it this way. I want to make it my career, so a little bit of selling out is necessary as long as I don't lose myself in it. So it should be
I
fine.
love I
But I
love
haven't
that.
figured this out yet as well. So
That's awesome. A little bit of selling out, but as long as you're good with it. I love that. That's good. That's good. That's good. I gotta use that quote. Um, so I love asking this question too because as an artist, as a creative, as a filmmaker and entrepreneur, there's a lot of hats I wear. Sometimes it can become and feel a little overwhelming and a lot. Um, and I don't really have too many people to confide in. What do you do as far as like how do you manage and balance it all? Like as far as like an artist and a creative.
good question. I haven't really think that deep on it. So um, I guess just live day by day. Trying to like just if some emotion come up, if I feel very bad during that day, I just take a rest and sort myself out, and then come back again and just be in the present basically, and just know what you have to do. Just list them down and then just do them one by one, one by one. If I wanted to rest, I rest. If I wanted to go on, and I can go on where it's effective and it's not, hurting the product and hurting me. So I'll go on, and I guess that's kind of like the mindset. I treat it like kind of like work and something, but I also try to enjoy it as much as possible as well, and that really helped me wearing all those hats. And I also got a lot of help. It's great, having people. I built this kind of support system around me where, if something that I couldn't do myself, there's like this my manager who, me and my manager, we kind of you do different role and fill in for each other where we can. So I guess as a creative, if you have somebody like that, it could be useful for you as well. And yeah, basically all of that is kind of what keeps me going for now. Yeah.
I love that. That's really good. With your album coming later this year, how does this song set the tone for what's next?
Um, I guess now that like the story, from finding self-love to like fighting for love, I guess I wanted to explore other areas as well of love. Now that like maybe like love in multiple direction. I don't want to review too much because the concept might change, as well as, it's better for the marketing to just keep myself silent for now.
I
So yeah, I guess
love
I'll
that.
try to like talk about love some more because it's the easiest to write, because that like literally almost everybody like write love songs. And maybe I want to branch out as well to like other areas, and I'm creating some song for that, but I have to see if I'm going to put it in the album or not as well. So it's still an ongoing process.
I love that. Um, what's the best compliments you've received about your music so far?
I guess, from one of my cousins. She's old, like 80. She's like, but she
Oh.
listened to like pop music. So I was surprised, and she told me my music have soul, and that means a lot to me. And I was like, yeah, yeah, it's very good. I think that's the best one so far. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, fun bonus questions. I like to ask these is pretty fun questions, but studio late nights or early mornings creativity?
The thing is, my sleep schedule is kind of messed up, so it depends as well.
I love it. I love it. You're a rock star. Rock star hours. Um, what advice would you give to any artist out there or anyone that's trying to, you know, get into this music industry?
You basically, I think you can find a lot of advice online already, but just remember why you started, and and remember the passion, the joy, and everything will come out great if you just keep that and don't lose yourself in all the commercial and all the, commercial is fine, but don't like lose yourself entirely to it. Still remember why you started it and do it out of like fun and happiness, being creative, because basically, for me, I need that to function. Otherwise, I would be stressed out wearing all these many hats. And the only thing that the kind of like the main thing that keep me going is the passion, right? So remember that when yeah, just remember that and keep it and remind yourself why you're doing it in the first place. Yeah.
I love that. It's a great answer. Where can people find all your music and follow you on social media?
You can search on almost any platform, just Pran. It should pop up, and if it doesn't, then just type the song. Either All I Need Is Love, Pran, All I Need Is Love, or Pran Till the End for You. And on Instagram is Pran and Jessada. So Pran Jesada. That's like my Thai name afterwards. So that would be the Instagram. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, it was lovely having you on. It was awesome to just learn more about your journey, and thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to talk to you too.
Thank you. And thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.